Hello everyone, and welcome to Athymia. A disclaimer, this game contains mentions of death, drugs, suicide, and violence. It was made in 3 days for a game jam that I missed the submission for. Hope to serve as a demo or chapter 0 for a larger work that should be of interest. Hey, it's okay to miss submission. I think it looks cool so far. I am on the very first page though, so who am I to say? You're an Eidolon in the next spire, a city on the edge of nowhere. I'm liking this music. Go past the gates to the west, and you'll find the ocean. I am gonna turn it down though. Give me 1 sec. There we go. Go past the gates to the west, and you'll find the ocean. Go past the gates to the east, and you'll find the open desert. Once a health capital of the world, the misdeeds are buried under heaps of entertainment hubs. As an Eidolon, you are similar to a mercenary for hire, working various types of jobs. Resource gathering in the husks of mega corporations, hits on small drug dealers, bodyguarding for some rich man's daughter. Most turned Eidolon ship and its budding guild to pay off their debts. Some do it for the resources to meet their own goals. None will say why they join, and neither will you. Each Eidolon takes a nickname and a 6-digit number for ID purposes. What is your name? Type it below. We'll just shorten it down. Why not? Sylv. Your name is Sylv. Assigned Eidolon number 841352. Welcome, Sylv. You have been reassured that there were not 841,351 Eidolons before you. The numbers are mostly randomized. Yeah, actually, yeah, they said it was like a semi-newer program. Imagine if there were like 800k Eidolons. And you just sign up and they're like... You hear that number, you're like, what happened to the other 800,000? There's like 10 people in this building. You've been Eidolon for about 3 months. Despite being a newbie, you've learned the stakes very quickly. You live in a small apartment by yourself, barely 10 square meters to your own. But the best part of it all is the view. From here, the city sprawls below you in dashes of neon blue and gold. You lean against the window and switch your glances between the view outside and your mobile device. A radio sits at your side on the bed, switching between music and regular show talk. Normally you'd listen in as more than background sound. But for now, half awake and elegantly sipping a canned energy drink, you're scanning for jobs. I like the idea. I'm sorry. I know that they're being sarcastic or whatever when they say elegantly sipping, probably. But I like the idea of like, imagine like an old British dude sipping tea with his pinky up, but it's just you with an energy drink can, pinky up. Just, I just think it's funny. It's a friendly race to the finish line. Jobs are posted to a board, and you select which ones you want to take on. Payment is given upon completion. You report in person and bring whatever proof you need. If it's protection, you bring words of recommendation from those you guarded. If it's item collection and/or retrieval, you bring them in pockets and bags. If it's a hit, you bring their cybernetic enhancements. If they're more organic than mechanic, you bring teeth. You're not in the mood to get your hands stained, not against anything human, that is. It's a few boring jobs today, picking up people from different areas, handling money. Ooh, a hostage rescue, that sounds fun. Though you're not wanting to deal with other people much today. After drinking half of your can and feeling the energy pulling tendons off your bones, you find a listing that sounds simple enough. The pulling off your bones. You gotta think about it, this is future energy drinks, so there's even more energy per drink, because it's the future. Collection. Retrieval of paper files from Arc Industries co-facilities. Yeah, screw it. Sure. An anonymous client requests retrieval of documents located in the director's office of the Arc Medical Center for Disease Control. Please note that the building is a known hub for biorot. Proceed with caution. Nothing you haven't handled before. You hit accept on the job. Address and additional information are sent to your inbox. This isn't super far. Far enough where you'll need to take public transit. You walk over to your weapon rack that sits by the front door. You previously considered placing it above your bed, but you heard a story of someone who died when their gun fell on their head in their sleep. I'm gonna save because it's important to keep saving on stuff like this. How do I go back to the help return? I'm sorry, but what a way to go, am I right? I don't even blame him. That sounds like some idea to be like, oh, let me move my guns. Do I need a new blade? Considering the potential situation at hand, it might be a good idea to pick up a shiny new toy before heading in. It can always get more cool knives. Always. You'll stop by a friend's. Yeah! You finish getting dressed and leave the apartment behind you. You arrive at the Fault Lines. It's a city within a city. Eidolons and those willing to help exchange information, data, and cash for whatever a mercenary might need. Your objective is simple. Find your favorite arms dealer. What if I need a leg dealer? Or like a finger dealer? If he does, can I buy just the fingers and not the arms? Its home lies in a building with a crudely painted sign on the door. Dex's Dealings. Hey Dex, think you can help me out? A robot wearing neon orange sticks its tail out of a new box of rifles.
That's me. Oh hey, 841352. How are you?
It rushes over and leans against the counter in your direction, tail gently wagging behind its slender body. I love the design for this, by the way. This is pretty great. I don't know, like, I don't know what the intention is, but I just love the look of this. I'm doing all right.
Good. You're in one piece, and you look and talk like you're wide awake enough to get in some action. So, what's the stick? What you looking to do today? Lots of activity right now, so many people coming in and out, but no one's buying anything.
I don't even know what you do with all this stuff. It's not like you need to buy food or anything.
I need to upgrade myself, duh. Also, I like buying little collectibles from my favorite shows. Hey, I feel you on that one.
Wow, I didn't take you as a nerd whatsoever.
I can detect sarcasm, you know. Now, you said you were looking for something.
Yeah, I have an assignment to clear out a place that's got some bio-rot nearby. Anything you got for that?
Oh, that's gonna be gross. I have just the thing. Did your listing say what kind there were?
There's different kinds?
Okay. I mean, like, they all mutate into weird but similar pieces of shit. We know this. At the end of the day, they're all personal to the former shell. I can tell what their past selves did by how their limbs mutated. But they also sort of come in types. Is it just a pound of flesh, or like I've seen some that look like spiders, kinda? It's like species of bugs, except no one wants to catalog these in an encyclopedia.
No clue then.
No worries, I've got stuff for all of them. The main advice I get from people is that you can chop their limbs off and stuff, and that'll normally do the trick. But each of them has something of a core you can shoot at or pierce to fully put them down.
So this is like, for lack of a better thing to reference, I think like Witcher. I didn't even do a lot of Witcher, but like we're reconning, we're getting that info before, so we know how to actually fight the monster. I love stuff like this where it's like hey, you need to know this is the weak point so you can take care of it, otherwise there's going to be trouble.
I mean, if you think of it, it's a mercy killing. Not the point, sorry. What I'm trying to say is those little doohickeys you've got on your hips will work just fine. Hey, why are you looking at my hips? But you might need an extra edge if one gets close.
Doohickeys, you sold these to me.
That isn't the point, is it? So I have a few items for you. A samurai sword. Do you think samurai still exist?
Lots of people proclaim they are, but I don't think any of them have the guts.
Exactly. That's because they lost their guts.
That's pretty funny. I like this character.
So, I've got one of those, but I've also got a more western sword, if that charges your spark, or whatever the saying is. Hell, maybe you just want a cool knife.
Ooh, a rainbow knife?
Oh, do you want an axe? It's an old fire brigade one.
Wow, so many choices.
I have more in the back if you want to take a look at those.
I'm fine with what you have here. I don't want to take up more of your time.
Yeah, totally. So which one are you thinking? I sort of have a vibe for your budget, so don't worry, all of these are within your price range.
Which one do you want?
Ah, a choice. Let us save before the choice. So, if we're cutting off limbs, like, I'm not a big katana guy. Like, I have, like, a different... I like collecting just different random blades and stuff in real life. Not, like, anything official, but just, like, if I see a cool blade, I'll buy it sometimes. Or, my dad will sometimes give me some cool, blades. And if we're chopping off limbs, I would think either the katana or the axe would be our best bet. Because that sword... I didn't get a good look at it, but I think it was more like a rapier, right? Which would be piercing. And that knife is a little too small for cutting down limbs. I'm kind of tempted to go axe, because axe is actually meant to chop through things. But I know the katana would be, like, more versatile. But I guess if we're going to be in a building, it's going to be, like, more enclosed space, right? So, like, axe, we might have a little easier time swinging around. I'll do axe.
I'll take this axe if that's fine with you.
Fine with me. Any choice you make is fine by me. I can do that for, say, 47?
Yeah, that's fine. You hand Dex your card. Load it up with credits. It rolls up a sleeve of its arm and inserts the card.
There you go.
It hands you the card back.
I'm a little worried it won't be sharp enough, so do you mind giving me a minute or two so I can freshen her up?
Now on that, please take your time. I can't go hacking at Bulbous meat if it's dull, right?
Well, like, duh. Give me a bit.
Like, me personally, I'd be more comfortable with a knife. But that knife was like a pocket knife. That's not going to cut through an arm. If it was like a Bowie knife or something, or like a short sword, that would be closer to what I would actually want for something like this. I would think. I'm not like an expert or anything. That's just me thinking out loud. You're quick to make a selection, but we'll wait for precision. Dex walks away from the counter to a sharpening system in the corner. The Sharp-O-Matic 9000. Yes. It sits down at the machine. You have no idea why Dex needs something so large and bulky, but as long as it works, who cares? You lean against the counter.
Hello, you're calling Dex's Dealings. I'll get you a deal on whatever you need to deal some damage. How can I...
It sounds like it's on the phone with someone. You've noticed it taking calls sometimes in the shop, but it never bothered you. Whoever's on the other side is someone you can never hear. Maybe that's for the best.
Holy shit, how are you? I haven't heard from you in weeks, not since...
Whoever it keeps cutting Dex off, you want to hear some juice and you're not getting it.
Oh my god, that's why you left? I'm sorry to hear that happened. Okay, I won't apologize for it. Sorry for being sorry over something I can't control.
Let me apologize to make up for apologizing.
I have a client here, so I unfortunately need to wrap this up soon. Oh, you want to... Hold on, let me transmit some data to you. Secret stuff.
It goes quiet. You can't help but snicker a little, saying secret stuff out loud. You wish you knew what Dex was talking about.
Do you want to, like, meet up again? I have a meeting tonight that I can't miss. Gotta get my goods and whatnot. Do you want to do tomorrow night? Yeah, okay, we can meet there. Just call me and stuff in the meantime, yeah? I think that's what he said. I clicked and right as it auto-populated. Call me if you need anything in the meantime, yeah?
Dex hangs up and walks back over to you.
Sorry about that. Do you need anything else?
I'm good. Thanks, Dex. Everything alright?
What? Oh, yeah. I just heard from someone I haven't spoken to in a while. It was good to hear from them.
What was the secret stuff?
Can't tell you. That's secret stuff. If you need anything between now and the end of the world, you know who to call.
And the end of the world. I love that. I love, like, the happy robots. They're fun characters. You exit Dex's shop and find the nearest train station. You strap your new axe to a holster on your back.
I guess that would work.
See, now it's got me thinking, where would I put an axe holster?
I would think like an underarm holster or a side holster would be a little easier to actually get to the axe, because rather than having to reach behind you, maybe not, I don't know.
It's about a 40-minute journey across the city to get where you need, and you'll enjoy the quiet of the ride.
Well, I guess if it's on your back, then when you pull it out, you already have your arm up and ready to chop down, which makes sense.
You arrive at the husk of a structure, rotting on an already decaying street. The temperature here feels colder than anywhere else in the city. You're grateful that you've brought a jacket. You look at your mobile device, at the additional instructions. The building has a window. You can access the first floor to the east. The director's office is on the 40th floor. Due to unfortunate circumstances, many stairwells and elevators are extremely damaged. Navigation will be difficult. Makes sense why they asked for an Eidolon. This structure is a known hub for biorot. Bringing a firearm is highly recommended. Should you be bitten by a biorot entity, or should any of their biomass enter your internal systems, please follow all steps of the complete bodily suicide protocol. You hope you never have to use that manual in your life. You pocket your device and navigate to the east side of the building. There's a window, broken and ajar enough for you to slip in. You hold your breath and squeeze through.
That's one of those things I always think about. This is like a weird side tangent, but like, if you get to the point where it's like, to that degree, are you, like, you gotta imagine, like, you're being infected like that. Like, let's say it's not like even biorot like this, but like, let's say it's like zombie apocalypse or whatever. You know you're going to turn. Does taking yourself out, is that, can you manage it? You know what I mean? Like, so that's a hard thing. Like, I'd like to think I could, but I think it'd be rough. The other thing on it, and this is one of those things I always think about from like a weird perspective. Like, I'm religious and all that. I'm Christian. They always talk about like, you know, if you do suicide, you get sent to hell. Now, I think there's more depth to that than what most people do. Like, they say it's very black and white. But it's one of those things I always think about where it's like, if you were to take that literal, even though you're sacrificing your life for the safety of others, you would still go there, versus, does it even count as suicide if you're already being killed by something else and all you're doing is keeping that something else from getting to other people? I don't know. This is a weird side tangent, I apologize. Just something that I think about when I think about stuff like that.
Your trek through the building has been quiet. You think whatever digital god rests in the code for that. Debris litter around the floor. Any area without it contains only still air that feels just as heavy.
At least, like, I don't need a mask with all this rot.
You don't know what happened to this building. Arc Industries still exists and thrives, and yet this place is still a ghost town. It's a medical facility, but doesn't feel like a hospital. More small labs and offices than actual beds and equipment. You can tell some items and machines have been stripped, but much of the original intent remains intact. Most rooms smell like dust and moist concrete. Other rooms smell like decomposition. And any rooms that may have housed biorot in their nests of spoiled skin, you have not seen them. They may have vacated. That does not mean you linger. Along the way, you find lots of weird articles scattered on desks and floors. Pens, papers, hand sanitizer, and computer keyboards with so much dust inside that it's not worth stripping and cleaning yourself. However, one little item catches your eye every time. Flash drives. There could be anything on these, things you'd like to extract yourself, but you get anxious about data from unknown sources. Each flash drive you find is stuffed into your pockets, and you continue on. Those things are like gold sometimes, especially in like settings like this. Like, might get in trouble with the company, they'll probably know where the information came from, but like also, if it has the right kind of company secrets, you could make some bank. You're already up to floor 15, and you can already feel your breath catching up to you. The building is falling apart. You've crawled through holes in the ceiling, assisted by machines left behind by its former occupants. You're hoping that the further you go up the tower, the more likely you'll find stairs straight to the 40th floor. The stench of meat is worse here, but you're able to ignore it by breathing occasionally into your jacket. You would think there'd be stairs going up to the 40th already. Like, I assume if you came out at the 15th floor, that's because you ran out of stairs. But, like, it'd be weird to make a stairwell through a building and not just have it go as far up as it can. Like, I can understand having barriers, so, like, hey, this person can't get to this floor, but it'd be weird to completely keep somebody. The stench of meat is worse here, but you're able to ignore it by breathing occasionally into your jacket. Are you telling me I went into a place full of something called bio-rot, and I couldn't get like a cloth mask while I was at the shop? Or something? Or didn't have one? I'm sorry, but if I was doing jobs like this all the time, I would have some kind of mask to help me out. This hallway looks mostly cleared of any material, organic or not. Keep your hand close to your weapon, but you nonetheless continue. The sound of dripping water can be heard down the hallway, a leaking pipe, you hope. The hall continues indefinitely. The few lights still on burn colors into your eyes. Your limbs feel sore and you feel sick. There's a sound behind you. Something that drops from the ceiling like viscous honey and lands silently on the floor. Well, is there a sound or did they land silently? You only know it's behind you because it makes a hissing noise, ready to strike. Okay, we heard the hissing noise. You turn around and yelp. That's what yelping sounds like, right? No, more like hee! Whatever. A female biorot, decaying with all flesh, screaming to be stripped of the body. You unholster your gun, but it moves before you touch the strap. It launches itself towards you, but before it does, the shot of a bullet whips right past your head. The ends of your hair barely graze its path. Lands itself straight between the eyes of the entity, creating a perfect circle in its head. The creature falls onto its back and sits motionless on the floor. Quickly you move aside so its bubbling flesh does not touch your skin. Skin contact is fine, though you'd prefer not to have to wash rot off your face. The hell? You finish unholstering both your guns and point them towards the source. The figure raises both of its hands, but it does not move from its position on the boxes. I'm not gonna hurt you. You swallow harshly. Your grip on the weapons does not falter, even if your hands shake at small intervals. If I wanted to hurt you, I'd have either shot you or let the bio-rot take you in secret. Your gaze follows the veins of green on his skin to the multiple irises stuffed into his eye sockets. You've never quite seen anything like that before. You're not one of them, right? They touch the side of their face, digging into their hair. Is my flesh spitting at the seams? You can chalk up his bodily anomalies from the veins to the eyes to some sort of experimental drug you've never heard of. I mean, it's the future. That probably happens a lot. Well, lots of Eidolons and residents of the next spire dabble in stimulants and other medication. You never felt you needed it. Not right now, at least. It's a common saying in that everyone gives in eventually. No. Then there's your answer. State your name and your intention. If this will stall your nerves, then sure. My name is viral, like an ever-spreading disease. I'm here for very similar reasons to you. And those reasons are... Their eyes slowly gaze over your body, from the angles of your face to your steel-toed boots. It lingers on certain areas more than others, namely your jaw and hands.
Oh, the two parts of his body we can't see in this picture? The two parts that could be missing?
You can't tell what he's thinking with that mask on his face. The many eyes give no emotion.
Sorry.
Hello? They gesture to your whole body. I assume you're here to pick up some medical supplies left behind? After all, Eidolons are often asked to scavenge like rats for whatever trash is left over. Ah. You don't sound like you have a good relationship with us. Many people don't. I'm simply stating the reality. Why are you even... It doesn't seem like a coincidence that you're also here. Why not? You've never encountered other Eidolons as scavengers in any of your missions. This is pretty common. Common enough where some people make a living off it. Viral sits down and leans against one of the walls. They're offering you to sit as well. You do the same, far enough from the body where you won't be mentally disturbed by the sight and smell. I'll go anywhere there's stuff to be scavenged, in decaying buildings like this and underground tunnels and dark alleys. But even in the quietest of buildings, he gestures to the room around you. I run into many people, Eidolons with goals that I can strike a deal with. Is this your way to try and pitch a sale to me? No, I'm not asking you to buy anything off me. I'm asking you to offload what you have. You only have so much room in all those pockets in your bag. He eyes your legs again and the many pockets of your pants. I will in many cases pay for items that dealers may not find any use in. Such as? Old records, junk data. I don't think you need anything digital. He unloads his messenger bag that was previously discarded on the floor. He's definitely trying to pitch something to me.
It's a marketing scheme!
You give brief glances over all the items. Old posters, patient files, strange metal trinkets. Your eyes stop on manila folders with the Arc Industries logo emblazoned in pure red. Nearly glows under the light. See something you want? You nod and point to the folders. Where did you get them? Oop, wrong voice. Director's office. A few stories up. A few? That's 25 floors. Beautiful room. It'll be a shame if they tear this building down. His voice is rough and contains little emotion. It's hard to pin down any sarcasm or snide comments, especially with most of his face covered. Do you want this? Yeah. Well, it's not very fair to me. How about this? I'll give this to you now, and you hand over the data that you've collected. If you're worried that whatever is on here might be critical information, give me your hand. Hesitating, you open your right palm to him. His left hand gently places something in yours. You look down at what's been placed in your hand. It's a piece of paper shaped like a business card, only there's no print. His name is written in a green pen, and there's an address on the back next to a biohazard symbol. You can come here.
Thanks. That's another choice I'll save again. You ever feel like you're about to sneeze and then you just don't? Man, I hate that.
Of course. I apologize if you can't read my handwriting. I was never able to perfect it, no matter the practice. It's not the worst I've seen.
Mine's a lot worse.
Most executives sign their documents in ways that make their writing look like a toddler's. All we can do is be grateful we aren't like that. So, do we have a deal? You look at the folders. As you do, you run your hand down your leg to the pockets of your cargo pants. Viral inhales sharply. You're impatient. That wasn't directed towards you. I apologize.
You pull out a few of the flash drives you found in lower offices and hand them to Viral.
Smart.
He gives you the folders in exchange.
Feel free to check them over to ensure they're what you're looking for.
You aren't going to do the same with what I gave you?
I'd plug them into what port? I'm not made of any mechanical components. You open the files and look for a special code.
What made you want to pick these up?
Curiosity. Played a game where a director's office was really important when I was a kid. I just took whatever I could. They left behind some other valuables, but none of it was like this. Some hospital bracelets, mostly.
So what do you find in those?
What's your name, Eidolon?
Sylv.
Sylv, how long have you been in Eidolon?
About 3 months. For the first time, Viral seems to have trouble finding the words they need.
I see. You aren't going to live very long if you keep asking questions. That's not a threat. I have no desire to hurt you.
Her extra eyes look at your hands.
Anyone who survives does what they're told and doesn't ask why.
You look away in embarrassment.
Anyways, this isn't a place to linger. You'll be safe on this floor for long enough, but you should vacate soon. The way you came through is the safest way back.
He closes his bag and hauls it back over his shoulder.
I'll be returning to my base of operations. You'll come by eventually. Everyone does.
You're not going to leave now, are you?
I've got what I wanted. I need to review my splendor after all. I'll be seeing you.
He waves his hand and begins walking out through the entrance you came out of. Hey, wait. I feel like that was pretty fair trade. I mean, like, he's obviously more on the digital stuff. We have a set thing we came to get. He doesn't know who to turn into. He doesn't know who's looking for it. Or that they'd give him a reward. And then we, like, already didn't really want to dig through them anyways. We just grabbed them because we knew somebody would. We just did it earlier.
They aren't paying attention anymore.
You watch Viral bring his left hand to his face before turning the corner. How strange. You look at the card in your hand one more time before you exit the building. You deliver the folders and plastic bags to a drop box. You're tired, and you need a drink. As sleep attempts to take your body, you take the next train home. You return to your apartment. The first thing you do is undress and take a shower.
Knees bruised, hands coated in dust. Thankfully, no organic matter has tried making home in your skin. Once you finish, you slide over to your computer and check your account balance. The credits hit your account. Nice. You redress yourself in something more casual and comfortable. Can't walk around this in the guild uniform when on the job, now can you?
I assume they mean when not on the job.
As you collect your uniform to wash downstairs, you check all 12 pockets on your outfit. You've had situations where you've left all sorts of important items that burn through your clothes and get ruined in the wash. Receipts, lip balm. Oh shoot. From one of your jacket pockets, you grab some rigid objects, you pull them out and set them on your bed. Additional flash drives, as well as a few pens that you stole that still had enough ink in them to write with. What the hell will you do with these? You want to keep the pens. Despite everything being digital these days, you do enjoy the comfort of writing things down. The drives, however, you're not really interested in the prospect of giving your computers a virus. You have no idea what's on these. Though you know someone who'd be interested. In your other pocket is the card with Viral's address on it. The ulterior motive you promised you didn't have are suddenly showing up in your brain. Viral has piqued your curiosity, and part of you thinks it's on purpose. You can thank him and give him what you don't need. They don't seem like they'd be scared of a virus, ignoring that Viral is his name. You'll visit him tomorrow. Next Spire is now the City of Night, out on the edge of nowhere. You think you'll get a drink tonight. Thankfully, you know just where to go. You've been to the last eclipse a few times. It's been an 8-minute walk down the street. You go because, unlike much of this area of the city, it's quiet. As far as you know, there's only one bartender, a pretty girl named Maxine who speaks with a kindness you'd never expect. And because of that, you know she has a lot of information on just about every pocket of the next spire. As soon as you walk in, she spots you and waves you over to a stool near the middle of the bar. Welcome back, Sylv. You're here a little earlier than usual in your schedule. I've only been coming here, 3 months, and you've already nailed down how often I come and when? I like keeping track of my patrons, in case anything irregular happens that ends up being a problem for me. You normally come in twice a week. This is your third. Tell me, what's up? Take a seat in front of her. I mean, I can't do that just yet. I've got to purchase something, don't I? I mean, I wasn't going to push you to do that. I just assumed you knew already. She smiles, leaning against the counter. This is a very interesting, model. The way it's... I think it's just because of the art style, the way the lines are. Like, when I try and compare it to what an actual physical person standing in front of me looks like, it makes a weird dissonance in my brain. Like, I can't tell if the lines on her chest are, like, a scar, or if it's, just the way that her body happens to have, like, just the way her body looks, because I know some people, they just have lines like that. Like, I don't know. She smiles, leaning against the counter. There's 2 other patrons in the bar. Sitting on opposite sides of the room, you're the only one at the bar top itself. You drink alcohol? I don't personally. Maxine knows your taste. You've been here enough times. I know you don't drink, so I've got some non-alcoholic versions of some drinks as usual. But if you're feeling a certain way, I can get you something simple. I have some cashier who comes in sometimes, and they'll be like, "Can I get a rum and cola without a rum?" Like, you don't need to be shy. You can just ask for a soda. It's not embarrassing to go to a bar and not want alcohol. Seriously, I don't drink and I own the place. See, I've never really thought about that. I'm not usually a big bar guy, but I don't like a lot of people in my social settings. I like a small group. A quiet bar like this would be kind of nice, but good luck finding one, right? How do you know what's good? I
I just do. Does a mafia boss try his own product? He shouldn't. Won't argue with that. Yeah, I mean, if you serve something to somebody and they like it, you can assume the next guy will probably like it. I can also just pour soda into a pretty cup and a silly straw. I don't know if I need the silly straw. No, I need the silly straw. Give me the silly straw. Okay, so you're denying some fun in your life. That's what I'm saying. Don't make that choice for me. I need that silly straw. He looks at you. You look at her. And he looks at me. And I look at him. A groan escapes from your throat. Ugh. Maxine reaches into what you assume is a mini fridge underneath the bar and pulls out a popular brand of the dark soda. She pours it into a pink glass over ice and finishes off the arrangement with a straw that contorts into a heart. Thank you! So, do you like it? Yeah, it's cute. Cool, I'll put that on your tab later. Take a long sip of your drink. Satisfaction washes through your veins. So, now that you've got your drink, what's on your mind? You're really bad at being subtle. Well, that's not true. But I'm not going to leave the obvious unaddressed, am I? There's a lot of questions you could ask, but you don't want to give off too much information. You think about the stranger you met just a few hours ago. So I met a really strange person a few hours ago. Not uncommon around here. No, but not like that. I was on assignment. I had to collect some paper materials from some infested medical building. Sounds gross. It was, but I'm going up it, right? It's infested with biorot, so I need to be careful. Oh, so you went to the Ark Industries one they've left to rot, didn't you? How do you know? Well, the only places above ground that there's a known biorot activity. But it's weird, like, you'd think they'd leave at any time and leak out into the streets, but they don't. Too expensive to slaughter a bunch of infected poor people who relatively keep to themselves. And it's too dangerous. I almost got killed in there. If I had someone save me. You were an Eidolon at some point, I think. Yeah, I quit a few years ago after I had a little accident. Your eyes trail down to the scar. Okay, so it is a scar. Your eyes trail down to the scar on her chest. Also, I didn't want to do it anymore. I wanted something quieter. It's a cool looking scar, I will say that. I just, in the art style, I was like, I can't tell if that's just supposed to be her body or the scar. I don't, some people are gonna like sound weird for this. I don't mean this in like a weird kind of way. I just think scars look cool a lot of times. Like, I think it's a mark of something you've been through. And I think, whether you like it or not, like when you see scars like that, it is a part of you. So I think seeing scars on people is always kind of neat. Because it's like, you're getting to see a part of them. It's kind of like when you're friends with somebody with glasses and you see them take them off to clean them or something. You're seeing them without glasses for the first time in I don't know how long, or if ever. And it's like, there's this weird intimacy, I guess, to it. It's not actually intimacy, but it's like something like that where it's like, you've been around this person enough to see this part of them. I mean, she's just wearing it like that, out where anyone can see it, which is fine. But there's still that thing of like, I see that, there's a story behind that. I can see that this person has been through something. And I think that adds something anytime you meet somebody like that. Also, I didn't want to do it anymore. I wanted something quieter. I found more luck and money running to this place than I did doing errands for other people. She's knowledgeable, but now that she's situated in her current occupation, she might not have all the answers. You'll ask Maxine about... I'm gonna save again. I'm curious on the biorot activity. Like, why don't they leave the building? Do
Do you know any other places where biorot are more prevalent?
I know general areas because you'll normally find them underground. Deeper than train lines, old bunkers, and the sort. Tunnels dug deep before corruption nestled itself into the concrete. From my understanding and personal interactions with them, you don't really like light. Or they don't really like light. Daylight or artificial. That's why they aren't on the streets or terrorizing downtown. I don't think shining a light at them will necessarily freak them out, but they'd prefer somewhere darker. I assume that's why they chose that old Ark building.
Any idea why it's out of commission?
No, I just know they abandoned it around 7 years ago. Still stands nice and tall. I think they like it since most of that place is windowless. There's a few on the first floor and some on the upper floors, but otherwise it's a beast made of concrete and steel. If they ever start coming out on the streets, someone might think to do something. But like I said, those who get killed usually aren't worth caring about according to those that have any sort of power. Mercenaries, the homeless, any political enemies probably. But I wouldn't worry about it really. You can handle yourself if you ever see one of those buggers on the street, right? You got that shiny weapon to slash him down with. I do. I have a new axe that I bought earlier today. Thanks for noticing. Oh, who sold it to you? You see Seven there anymore? Robot about half your size. Shake your head. I got mine from a bot named Dex. Don't know if you know it. I wouldn't. That's a shame. I wonder if Seven's okay.
So, that makes me wonder, because they said this is like a chapter 0 or a demo, like that if it does well enough, they'll do more with it. Which I think they should. I'm already like very interested in this whole everything. I am curious when we get to like, if this is chapter 0, like it said at the start, I wonder, we keep having references to other people and things. I wonder if we're gonna meet other people, or if it's gonna be a thing where it's like, we have side stories in other chapters focusing on other people. Because I think that's a novel concept as well. It'd be a little weird that we're starting out as us, and then switching to other characters, but I love when games do that if they do it well, of like, okay, now I'm seeing this person's perspective and what they're going through and all this stuff.
I wouldn't. That's a shame. I wonder if Seven's okay.
She twirls some of her hair around her finger.
Speaking of your handsome stranger, though, you haven't really told me about what they look like. I might know who this is, or know a guy who knows a guy who can get us to your guy.
I'd say they were pretty tall, maybe 185 centimeters. Couldn't really see if his shoes had any height to them. They had this dark hair that shined green and the little bit of light we had, like a really dark green. Dark enough where you'd otherwise mistake it as black. Had it tied up, but his hair seemed decently long. That does not look tied up.
Green eyes, too. At least I think so.
They wore gas masks, so I couldn't see their nose or mouth. I don't know if it's for aesthetics, because we were surrounded by who knows what, or if it's for another purpose.
Damn, I would have wanted to know what he looked like underneath.
Dry skin at the mouth, yellow teeth, that would have been helpful to know for our drug conclusion.
Anything else you could tell me about him?
He wore almost entirely black. Some green and blue through the outfit. The jacket was cropped with a bright green undershirt. Said they were a merchant of sorts, that'd take stuff off in Eidolon's hands that weren't very useful. They had the files I needed, so I gave them some flash drives I'd found in exchange.
I've never really heard of anyone doing that. Anyone who does business with Eidolon just goes to the fault lines. Off the top of my head, I don't recognize them. I can do a little digging on my end if you want.
How much am I gonna have to pay you for that?
Nothing. Gossip pays for itself in entertainment.
I like her.
Just like, know that I can't guarantee anything.
I understand. Thank you for listening to me.
Sure, not a big deal, like at all. I'd say, well, you can come back whenever the hell you want, obviously. But if you come back and say 3 days, I might have something for you. Are you sure I don't owe you anything? Just order a drink again next time and we'll be fine. This is on your tab. You can pay any time before the end of the month. I know you can afford it, so you're fine. Thanks? No worries. It's what you deserve for telling me something so juicy. Need anything else tonight? No, thanks for letting me get this off my chest. I'd take my future Dr. Pepper and I chug the rest of it real quick, you know? It's better than regular Dr. Pepper. Because it's from the future. He went from like having his doctorate to like 3 doctorates. He's actually Dr. Pepper now. Again, of course, you're welcome whenever you're thirsty. You get up from your seat and try pushing in out of courtesy. It's here you remember that the seats are permanently fixed to the floor, prevents them from being thrown during your fights. You're gonna hope she didn't see that. Before you exit out the door, you take a look at the 2 strangers sitting in the opposite corners. You think nothing of them and you leave. Get back to your apartment, finish your night routine, and then go to sleep. The route to Viral's address takes 3 trains and a 20-minute walk. It sits on the west side of the city, close enough to the ocean where you could hear its waves. Even though everything sits hundreds of feet above the sea's surface, observing the waters from the cliffs. There's no signs, no labels, no posters. Outside the door, you're worried you didn't even have the right address at first. You knock a few times. You do not get a response. Hello? You knock a few more times. Silence is all that returns. Frustrated, you grab the doorknob and twist it. It's open. Why do you leave it unlocked? You twist it further and open up the door. The entrance to the buildings is an instant blast into the past. It looks something like a control room with dozens of screens and tables filled with strange buttons littering all the corners. The footage on the screens looks old. There's televisions on the ground with some screens hooked up to the walls. It's not dirty by any means, it's simply a mess. Hello? Viral? You find him you find him at a desk with headphones on, looking at something intently on one of the screens. It's hard not to trip over the wires on the floor. You stand in front of the desk and wave your hand a few times, trying to get his attention. Music blares from their headphones. It's loud enough for you to hear. Hey, it's me, Sylph. Viral looks up and immediately takes off his headphones, placing them on the desk. See, I knew you'd come. I haven't had time to organize everything yet. Please watch your step. I can see that. How can I help you? Are you still worried about those flash drives? I'm more than happy to pull their data up, but it's nothing that'd interest you. Medical records from patients, most of whom are dead or completely left from the next fire. None of it's very fun, anyways. No, I'm fine. I trust you. He narrows his eyes. All right. Your mistake. What are you here for, then? You didn't come out all this way just to see little old me, did you? No? Well, yes, but no. Do people do that? Sometimes, but never people I want to see. You, however... He stands up and brushes his hands off in a quick motion. State your intention. Very funny. I wanted to say thank you for helping me out yesterday. You really made my job a lot easier. I don't want your money. I kind of knew you'd say that. I wasn't offering you any. No, I just wanted to say thanks. I found some of these in my pockets that I didn't give to you. I think you'd want them more than me. Frankly, I prefer not to install stuff into any of my ports without knowing what it is. You fish the flash drives out of your pocket and hold them out to Viral. He looks down at them, then back up at you. Are you sure you want to give these to me? I don't think I'd come all the way out here just to take them back, would I? No. Though people come for far pettier reasons.
He slowly takes the drives from your hands and places them on the desk behind him.
Thank you.
It's not an issue. I mean, I'm not using them, and the amount of money I made off that job was crazy. I'd be the same way. Be like, look, man, I have no use for these. I know you're going to use them. Let's keep a beneficial back and forth going, you know? Especially in a world like this, you want to have as many people on your side as you can get. Two of you stand in silence. Vio keeps eyeing you while your eyes dart at the mess all around you. Do you want to try prying some more information out of them before you go? This place is pretty far from everything else in the city. There's a few bars and repair shops and the such out here. But this isn't somewhere most people would come on the regular, especially so close to the ocean.
I prefer it that way. I don't much like the company of people.
Oh, sorry. Am I being a bother then?
No, not at all. For the work I have to do, I'd prefer not to be disturbed unless by people I invite. I gave you my shoddy card. I'd like to get nicer ones printed eventually. But that means you're allowed whenever you please.
Thank you?
You're welcome.
They keep eyeing the computer they were working on when you came in. Did you disrupt something? Are you busy? I can come back another time if that's better. Or we can meet somewhere else at another time.
I'm very interested in what I'm doing right now. I would only want to engage further if you wanted to. Do not force yourself to be in my company, for we have just met. However, if you want to make that decision, then so be it.
I'll be in contact with you then, somehow. You don't have any of his digital contacts, but you don't want to ask for that. Can I use your bathroom before I leave? It was a long journey getting here.
Sure, it's in the back.
You thank him and walk out of the room. It's a small bathroom, one you can barely fit in. If anything, you just want to freshen up. You turn on the water and wash your hands before splashing some on your face. The walls around you are covered in various posters for bands and musicians who have toured through the next spire in the last few months. Some of them are even signed. That's pretty crazy. With, like, such a messy place, they actually have signed posters. It's pretty funny. Like, I hope they're, like, framed or something. I'm sorry, but if you got to the point where you, like, where you got it signed, you better frame that, like, so that thing lasts. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. Wipe your hands on the hand towel hanging next to the mirror and rub your face into the sleeves. By the time you exit, Viral's already back in front of their computer. They look at you when they hear your footsteps enter the room. Thank you for letting me use it. I just had to wake myself up a little bit with some water. I understand. See ya.
Uh-huh.
You close the door behind you and begin your trek back home. You finally make it home. As soon as you enter the room, you slam the door behind you and close your eyes. You slowly slide to the floor with your back against the wall. Your hands find their way into your hair, fumbling with the buckles and straps on your mask. Oh, we're playing as, what's-his-face now. It pops off your face and tumbles onto the floor. You slip out the washcloths from your base of operations, the one Sylv had used. It smells like sweat and skin with hints of blood and fresh soap. You smile and hold it against your face for a few more moments. That's enough. I don't like this. Put the mask back on and sigh loudly.
Fuck.
I'm sorry. He just, like, goes to the bathroom right after I leave. He's like,
Oh, fuck.
Like, I'm sorry. That's not okay. That's not okay. I don't like this guy. I was neutral. Now I don't like him. You go back to your desk and pull up Sylph's file once again, stare right at their picture and touch it where their hand touched yours. Go to your mobile device and dial a number.
Tex. Viral, it's you again. Oh, so he was the guy from the beginning. We don't meet until later tonight. Did something happen? I can reschedule if that works better for you.
To thank you for the tip on Syl.
Yeah, sure. Honestly, I'm not quite sure what about 841352 you're interested in, but that's not my business, is it?
It could be your business later tonight.
I don't really like how that sounds.
It's not that big of a deal. I met them yesterday at the Arc Industries building that's abandoned on Dimension Avenue.
Really? That's where the task took him.
Correct. I can't help but be invested. I'm not sure why. That's why I'm asking for your help.
I'll get something out of this, right?
Of course. You'll know where I've been for the past 6 months.
Sure. What you need then?
All that you have on Eidolon 841352. Any transaction history, any places that you've seen them frequent, anything like that.
Is that all? That's easy.
For now.
Surezies, I'll see you tonight.
Of course, you have the details.
Come on, Dex, that ain't cool, selling off my personal info like that. That's messed up, man. It's messed up.
Hang and lean back in your chair. A loud growl sigh comes from your lips. You're not sure what it is about Sylph that you're so fascinated about, but you'll find out what it is. Even if you have to dig into the Eidolon's body and claw whatever it is out. Yeah, that's about right. You'll track their next mission down and meet them again. Meet them every time just to find out why. Thank you for playing this demo. Clicking further will restart the game. Okay. So, before I go into all my thoughts, let's check out some of the alternative choices, shall we? Okay, we're on load. Okay. So, katana. I'll take the katana if that's fine with you.
Fine with me. Any choice you make is fine by me. I can do that for, say, 50?
Yeah, that's fine. And then we pay. There you go. Hands it back. And then they sharpen. Yes, I think all the weapons are probably the same then. Unload. Go back over here. This one we can we did thank you last time. Instead, we could be like, are you asking me out? You'd feel the stare is harsher than the others. This is where I've set up shop, not where I live. I wouldn't give a stranger my address the first time I meet them, now would I? I would hope not. I've had people like that before, though. Then they're fools. So, do we have a deal? Yeah, so that's that. I'm curious if this... Oh, I just saved over it. Okay, well, maybe I can load here and then rewind back to the question. I apologize for this. Yeah, that guy's just creepy. I'm curious, like, if they made a full version of this game, if it would just be... No, I'm not. Don't skip. Okay. Let's say yes, I do drink. Maxie knows your taste. You've been there enough times. I've got a few recommendations if you want to try those out. Recently came up with a cocktail that combines vodka with a whole can of Duke Delicious. What the hell is that? Who the heck is this guy? I love this. I'm so glad I came back so I could see whatever the heck that apple is. Alright. I'm sorry, Duke what?
Oh, I know, it sounds ridiculous. It's a soda that popped up on the market a few months ago. The whole gimmick is that it's a spunky retro flavor that's discovered in the vending machine of an old mall. Very overpowering in the apple flavor, but that's not a bad thing. I've had a few of my patrons really like it. Just depends on what you want to wash your vodka down with, I suppose. Could be good. What else do you have right now? Other than the usual taps I've got, and she looks around the bar and then the back of your hands. Straight up gasoline? As in it tastes like gasoline, or it's just gasoline? Both. I've had the fully organic guys like you guzzle the whole thing down before. Really, that's... You'll ultimately decide not to finish your sentence. But again, if none of that sounds good to you, I've also got all the normal stuff. Screw it. Throw me the Duke Delirious. Wait, holy shit, I should call it that. Sure, give me a second. Yeah, I mean, if you're putting it with alcohol, yeah. You watch Maxine work her hands, grabbing bottles from behind her and ice from a metal ice bucket. The can of Duke Delicious is almost as tall and skinny, like those prayer candles with the saints print on them. She pours a mix of club soda, Duke Delirious, and a bottle of vodka from a brand you don't recognize all over ice. I'm just saying, I had soda earlier. She could have given me the Duke Delirious just as the soda. I'm just saying, like, you don't... As a guy who doesn't drink, I'm offended that you hid Duke Delirious from me. Or Duke Delicious. I'm offended that you hid this from me, author, and for good reason. I once had someone ask for me to put a lime in this. Really? Ew. That's what I'm saying. She slips the drink over to you and leans against the counter once more. Take a long sip of your drink. Satisfaction washes through your veins. So now that you've got your drink, what's on your mind? You're really bad being subtle. That's not true. I'm not gonna leave obvious under... Yeah. It's the same as before. Yeah, this is all the stuff from before. Here we go. So, now we're back at this choice. So we have drug side effects and idle on mission recruitment we didn't hear about last time. Let's start with the drug side effects. How do you know so much about recreational drugs? Enough to spot who's on what when they enter my place. Someone seems like they'll cause a mess, I refuse service. Not that it happens often, but you get crazy stuff at a bar. I try to prepare for the worst. I hope you don't get the worst. Not every night, thankfully. Use tonight as an example. Why do you ask? So this person I met, they had something really weird going on that I can't pinpoint. And then we go back to talking about his stuff. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, never mind, it is. New dialogue still. They had green veins coming out of his eyes and then its sockets. It's... how do I explain it? It was like there were multiple eyes, but was it polychoria? That's when you've got connecting pupils in an iris, basically, or two or even more pupils in one eye. It was more like multiple irises and pupils together in one socket, spread out onto the sclera and everything. The green veins? I don't think I've seen that unless it was makeup. If I hear anyone having veiny stuff coming out of their eyes, it's usually red, blue, or black. I've seen a really rare opioid that causes temporary polychoria, but I don't think it's related. That stuff drives a person mad, and your mystery guy sounds potent. If all that is the side effect of a drug, I have no idea what that drug is. It could be an illness or cosmetic or something else. You might want to ask someone who specializes in that sort of thing. Always a guy at the fault lines who can help you out. There's street medics and stuff who work out there. They'll patch you up better than a hospital doctor, that's for sure. And they'll do it for cheaper. I once slipped, fell on my ass, and nearly broke both my ankles. Prettiest girl ever patched me up and only asked for a beer in return. I had to take her to a bar and we walked a few hours. I think she just wanted to take you out on a date. Well, it worked. Speaking of your handsome stranger, though, you haven't really told me what they look like. I might know who this guy is, or yeah, and now we're describing him again. So let's go back, and then I think literally the last of our dialogue is the Eidolon mission recruitment, and then we're gonna talk about the game a little bit. So I see there's a site where you can see all the available missions. Sure, I used to do a ton myself when I was still dancing around the city. How would anyone outside the organization find the jobs? Sometimes they're cross-posted to private security organizations, but listings will normally say that. You'll sometimes have multiple Eidolons going along in one little excursion, but being an Eidolon is mostly solitary for a reason. It's a way to be by yourself. Independent, I suppose. Also, I feel like a lot of people don't want to be seen as weak by teaming up with others. Anyone can just go to the fault lines and sign up to be an Eidolon, but it seems like a lot of work to just to see job opportunities and not do them. Can you still see them? No, I lost access to all that when I retired. I couldn't log in even if I wanted to unless I hacked it, but I don't see a reason to do so. Not that I have the skills to do so. I could hire somebody to do it if I was really desperate. Shrugs his shoulders. Plus, their cybersecurity is rancid. It's so good I can smell who worked on it. Oh god! Ew. Sorry. So, putting that aside, you'd have to be an Eidolon to get access to the boards. Yes, sir. Though I don't know they will terminate your accessibility if they know you're dead. Though I do know they will terminate your accessibility if they know you're dead. I knew a girl a few years ago, super cute, but she was reckless. Her body basically crumpled into itself doing something in a meat processing plant. Ew. But since the plant got footage and knew the leading members of the Eidolons or whatever, she got her stuff terminated pretty quickly. It's real nasty stuff. You saw the footage? I had to know for myself. I'll never forget it, though. The way she was crushed to a can? Yikes. She grits her teeth and looks away. She's acting more like she saw someone take a nasty fall in a skate park than somebody brutally being killed. I'm sorry if I made you upset. Why the hell would you need to apologize? Hell, I brought it up. It's also already passed. There's nothing I can do about it. And I've learned that there's no reason to dwell on something you can't fix. Speaking of your handsome stranger, though, you haven't really told me what they look like. My no-go... Yeah, then we're back to that. Okay. So... that's all the dialogue for this demo. Just to go over my final thoughts on everything. So, one of the things I saw when I was looking into this game on the page was that because I try to check for this before I do visual novels, because this is just not the type of thing I prefer usually when it comes to this type of stuff. Is there was no not safe for work stuff in this game, and they even made like a whole thing like, hey, I know a lot of visual novels kind of pressure that, but I don't want to do that, and I respect that. I very much do. I think there's I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think that visual novels like this, where it's just a good story in general, and it doesn't go into all that extra stuff, is also very important. I don't know which direction this game's going. To me, and this is just me, I don't. You do whatever story you're wanting to do. I'm literally just one guy. I would be interested to see more of the world that you've made, a lot more characters doing different things that we've heard a lot of characters mentioned. We even had one loop back around to the beginning and stuff like that. It'd be really cool to see all these things interconnect. I really do not like that green guy. I really don't like that green guy. I don't think you're going for a dating thing based off what I saw, just because he's pretty creepy guy. But our character did seem to show some interest. But anytime there's dating in a novel like this and it's choice based, that's one of those things that out of personal preference, I think it's good to just be hey, if this is a one where you date in it and this is the person that you're dating, or hey, there's a choice. I'm not going to say who the choices are, but there's a choice. Because I think that matters on stuff like this. I didn't really look super hard into the game page overall. Maybe it said something like that, maybe it didn't. I just saw the pictures and the description of just the idea of it, and I was like, oh, this looks like a really fun little thing. So that's just more me stating hey, this is the kind of story I like out of these things versus this is what you should do. But yeah, that guy's creepy as heck. I don't like that green guy. I don't like him. I don't like him one bit. At first I was like, yeah, all right, mutually exclusive. We can just help each other out from time to time. We're both working the dangerous jobs. Nope, he's stalking me for some weird reason, and he just smelled my washcloth that my hands were on. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. I'm not cool with that. That's creepy as heck. Some people might be into that. I'm not. I'll tell you that right now. Bartender character was really cool. The robot was really cool. If your intention was to make a creepy character, you did a good job with the green guy. Viral, that's his name. That's right. And overall, like, characters were all really good design. I enjoyed this demo. I could see this world being a very interesting one to play around in and see different stuff in. Even if you were to say, like, you were talking about chapters, even if you were to not even do direct continuations, I think it would be cool to see other characters in this world having their adventures as well. Like, we heard about Maxine, I think her name was, talk about somebody named Seven, I think it was, having a backstory where we see Maxine doing things, or even just like, hey, this is where Seven is now, and we get to see their adventures, or all these other things. Could be a very interesting thing. Sorry, I heard something in the background, and I thought it was the game, and I was very confused for a second. I think it's just a plane flying by. But yeah, very good work on the story, and very good work on sticking to your creative vision. I like this a lot. I think whatever you decide to do with it, I think it'll be good one way or the other. I think somebody will like this. So I if you want encouragement to keep going, keep going. You're doing great. And for everyone watching, if you're watching this at a later date, maybe go check and see if this game has gotten more updates or more chapters, if you're interested. Right now, as of recording, this demo came out pretty recent. If more comes out, maybe I'll do it on the channel, maybe I won't. We'll kind of see what happens, because life happens, right? But I wouldn't be against it for sure. If you liked it, please, let me know in the comments, or leave a like or subscribe if you like seeing more stuff like this. I do visual novels and horror games and other indie stuff all the time on my channel. So I'd be glad to have you if you want to come back. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Goodbye!